All right, folks, big update for the 49ers and their fans heading into the Cardinals game. Brock Purdy is back, and he's finally spoken out about what's been going on with his toe. Believe me when I say, this isn't surface level. The truth he revealed is more nuanced than you might think, and it raises real implications for how San Francisco will manage its offense going forward.
So, let's unpack this carefully. First, the context. Purdy has missed a considerable stretch. He hasn't played since Week 4. That's 6 straight games he's been out, all tied to a toe injury that he initially picked up in the season opener. Coach Kyle Shanahan announced on Thursday that Purdy will return as the starting quarterback this Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. That confirmation alone shifts the projection for this game and the season's trajectory. Now, a lot of people have been wondering, how bad was it? What exactly happened? Here's what Purdy told the media. He described his injury as a turf toe variation. That's not just a throwaway phrase. It's a particular kind of injury where the toe joint is overstressed. But crucially, after multiple medical evaluations, he made it clear that surgery was never on the table. Pause there. That's a big deal. Because when you hear turf toe, your first instinct might be, that's minor, he'll walk it off. But in the NFL, for a quarterback, a toe issue is more than just sore joints. It affects planting, footwork, pocket presence. It changes how you step, how you deliver, how you scramble. And for Purdy, admitting that he had that issue, but confirming there was no surgery needed, tells you they viewed this as manageable, not catastrophic. Purdy didn't sugarcoat his feelings either. He said the situation was frustrating. He admitted that the recovery has been non-linear, the classic week-to-week fight. And yet, on Thursday, he told reporters, "I feel really good. I feel healthy and excited to be back and ready to go. Our goals are right in front of us." That line, "our goals are right in front of us," really encapsulates his mindset. Purdy isn't just thinking about his toe. He's thinking about leading the team, finishing strong, making this return meaningful. But let's be real, it's not ideal to have a toe that may never fully heal. Shanahan even acknowledged that possibility. That's not code for he's playing injured for the rest of the year, but it is a recognition that this might be something Purdy manages, not erases. So how does that shape the 49ers' strategy this week, and perhaps beyond? Well, as a professional analyst watching, all eyes go to how Shanahan will adjust play calling, how the coaching staff protects Purdy, and how they script the early part of the game. Here's what the smart bet is. Expect a measured return. That means more quick reads, more timing throws, less dependence on scrambling. When your quarterback's toe is sensitive, you don't ask him to run at full tilt. You design for structure, rhythm, safety, but also opportunity. Shanahan has said that Purdy's practices this week have been aggressive. That's not code for he's risking it. That's planning for a calculated re-entry, giving Purdy enough reps to be sharp, but not pushing him so hard that he re-injures himself. It's a delicate balance. And here's another corner of this equation, Purdy's confidence. He didn't just say, "I'm cleared." He said, "I feel really good." That's not rote optimism. That's a lead quarterback voice. His belief in his own body and in the medical work that's been done matters a lot for San Francisco, both now and as the season continues. If Purdy believes he's physically ready, that confidence can bleed into the entire offense. Now, what about durability? That's the elephant in the room. A toe injury like this, even without surgery, has the potential to flare up. Shanahan acknowledged that. Purdy acknowledged that. So what do? You protect him with scheme. You script plays that don't force him into high-risk situations. You lean into the run when necessary. You give him targets that minimize the risk of extending plays too far. Also, big piece, you rely on your supporting cast. Ricky Pearsall is expected to return for this game, which gives Purdy another vertical and explosive option. That helps a lot. Because when your quarterback's foot is compromised, One way to mitigate risk is to give him a clean, trustworthy target he can hit on timing routes or in more controlled settings. Pearsall's presence takes some pressure off Purdy to create out of nothing.
Let's flip to the Cardinals for a second. How does this affect their defense and game planning? If Arizona sees Purdy is back but not fully sprung, they'll probably test him. They might throw more pressure, they might disguise coverages, try to force him into uncomfortable footwork. But if Purdy remains controlled and makes good decisions, their edge disappears.
So for San Francisco, this game is a chance to reestablish rhythm, move the ball efficiently, and remind opponents, even when he's not 100%, Purdy is a real problem. Now, a risk, if Purdy feels the toe early in the game, the 49ers may need a stunt plan. What if he starts slow? What if he feels it creeping in on his plant foot? That's where the backup quarterback, or the second-half script, becomes critical. Shanahan and his staff will need a safety valve strategy because the health of the offense may depend on how well they pivot mid-game if things go sideways.
Another risk is over-reliance. If Purdy comes back with too much on his plate, the 49ers could lean on him too heavily, forgetting that his physical limitation is still in play. That's a recipe for re-injury or at least discomfort. So for this week, disciplined management is more important than heroics.
But here's the counterbalance. Purdy's return ignites the offense. It gives Shanahan more flexibility. It gives playmakers a familiar rhythm. It gives fans hope. In a very real sense, his return isn't just about padding the win column. It's about restoring the architecture of the offense the 49ers built around him. Let's also talk about his mindset because that's important. He didn't couch his comments in vague optimism. Purdy admitted frustration with the injury, but he refused to frame it as a setback that defines him. "This is just the cards I've been dealt," he said. That kind of maturity, that kind of self-awareness is precisely why the 49ers are trusting him to carry the team again. He's not trying to be a martyr or make a spectacle. He wants to lead. And leadership matters more than ever. With the offense potentially limited in certain ways, Purdy's ability to manage the game, to make sound decisions, to trust his pre-snap reads, to work the run-pass balance could be what wins or loses this game. It's not just about big throws, it's about smart football. So, what should the fan watching be keyed in on during the game? Here are a few things to watch for. Purdy's dropbacks and footwork. Are his steps clean, or is he favoring his plant foot? That will tell you how much comfort he has. Play design in early down situations. Does Shanahan dial up timing routes or more play action? Are they letting Purdy throw on second down or playing safe? Third down plays. Given the injury, will the 49ers go aggressive or will they settle for safer options? Red zone usage. This might be where they minimize risk and lean on the run or high-percentage pass plays. Post-snap mobility. Watch if Purdy keeps his eyes downfield or retreats when under pressure, because how he uses his legs now could be affected by that toe. Now, before we wrap this up, let's talk about what this return means long-term. The fact that Purdy is back and wasn't shut down for surgery suggests the 49ers trust their medical evaluation. It suggests they believe he can be effective, even if not totally fixed. But it also forces a new management reality. Can they preserve him through this season? Can they design his usage smartly enough to avoid turning a manageable injury into a chronic one? We don't know whether the toe will ever be normal again. But what we do know is Purdy feels ready. The team feels confident enough to go with him. And this week's game against the Cardinals could be the first real test of whether that confidence is well placed. This is not a simple comeback. It's a calculated return. And if he leads them to a strong performance, or better yet, a win, that could serve as a major turning point for San Francisco's season. So yeah, Purdy revealed the truth about his injury. And for a moment, everything feels a lot more possible.